My anyone's office.
Yeah, you had that like a cigarette, and we had to talk to my girl for 1 second. I'll figure out whatever you want.
This is the moment a handcuffed man in custody caught 2 DEA agents off guard.
Was he our guy?
Right there. That's our guy.
Stupid mother. Why the would you do that?
What officers didn't realize was that he had warned them about this exact moment years earlier. And just hours before this, they'd made a critical mistake that made it all possible. In the early hours of May 16th, a Callaway County father heard what sounded like a gunshot outside his family's home. Concerned, he stepped out to investigate only to find a vehicle blocking his driveway, with a fully loaded assault rifle clearly visible in the back seat. Afraid that someone dangerous might still be nearby, he immediately called the police. An officer was aware that this call would soon lead them to one of the county's most wanted fugitives, whose deadly revenge plan would cost an officer his life.
What we got here?
Well, first of all, we got a plate that doesn't belong on this vehicle.
Well, there's a machine gun or something.
AK-47 or whatever, fully loaded magazine.
Hey, Chief. Well, he said the neighbor lives here. She left. She came over and said something to them. Doesn't know whose vehicle it is. It's got this rifle in the back.
Yeah.
The plate doesn't come back to this vehicle. I see a needle cap up here in the floorboard. Yep.
Officers found the car unlocked with an
My thing, how you gonna just leave a weapon in plain sight just in the car in a fishbowl? You know what I mean? That, like, no tinting, nothing. You just leave it just right there for anybody just to see. What if a kid went up and happened to see that and just tried to get in the car and get a hold of that? This is something he probably does on the normal. You know what I mean?
assault rifle clearly visible in the back seat, and a needle cap on the floorboard, suggesting possible drug use. The plates were fake, but when deputies ran the vehicle's identification number, it revealed something far worse. The car belonged to a notorious criminal, one whom the DEA had been chasing for months. Gary Rowland, a 30-year-old parolee with multiple outstanding warrants, who had been quoted saying, "I'm never going back to prison alive." Knowing that Gary was likely in the neighborhood, officers narrowed down their search, and through CCTV and witness reports, they were quickly able to locate him in an apartment complex nearby. They moved in and made the arrest without incident. Before Gary was transported to jail, however, he surprised deputies by offering critical information about local narcotics and firearms trafficking in exchange for a reduced sentence. So instead of going to jail, they took him to the police station for questioning, unaware that this decision would lead to the murder of one of their colleagues just hours later. This is Gary, and he's just been brought into the interrogation room. What the officers don't realize at this moment is that due to an incomplete search, he's managed to sneak in a knife and a loaded pistol.
That's what I was about to say. Hold on. He about to crash out. That's what I was about to stop the video and say. He's about to crash out right now. Because when you say you're not going, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to live, that's already telling me something. You ready to just let everybody else go first too, you know? So we about to see what he about to do. I know this is going to be some crazy shit. So let's do it.
Both hidden in his waistband.
How y'all not check him though? What the hell?
This is Jody Cash and his colleague, Donald Bowman, both members of a DEA task force. Worth knowing is that Detective Jody actually has history with Gary. Back in 2017, Jody managed to arrest him on drug and firearms charges, offenses that sent him to prison for years. What neither Cash nor Bowman knows is that Gary is armed, and one of them won't make it out alive.
Every day in that cell, I know he was thinking about that officer. You know what I mean? Every day. It could just be somebody in the hood, somebody around the corner, somebody they had beef with 2 years prior, you know?
And you know, office. Yeah, I feel like we had to do like a cigarette and we had to talk to my girl for 1 second and I'll tell y'all whatever you want to know. I don't know about your girl, but I can definitely help you with some drink. I don't smoke, but I just go around with a cigarette.
Naturally, officers wanted to hear everything Gary had to say, so they let him take a smoke break. But this would turn out to be a mistake. Gary is then escorted outside of the building for his cigarette break. When they return to the room, surveillance footage shows that Gary has pulled his right pant leg up to just below the knee, making the weapon much easier to reach. Then, Gary asks for one more favor, one that would cost a deputy his life.
That's because you're right now. Give me the shows. If you're not going to call him, you know, you didn't do much for him.
Bro, how they not check him though?
He's no stranger. You know, realistically, we're looking at we really go with that. When things wrong with that other things too, man, I don't mind helping you out, but you can't do this all day. Okay. When you can bring 2 cigarettes in one hand and one in the other, I got that one coming for you there. That's the only one. That's the last one I got you.
Believing they're on the verge of obtaining crucial information, deputies Cash and Bowman grant Gary's request again. They follow him outside, but this time, they won't be coming back. Gary is standing in front of the building, with Deputy Bowman to the left and Deputy Jody Cash to the right. A colleague can be seen arriving for his shift, walking into the building, completely unaware of the tragedy that was just seconds away. And as soon as he makes it inside,
Oh, man. Oh, man. This just goes to say, why didn't they check him properly? They didn't search him properly. He should have been searched 2, 3, 4 times. He done put his pant leg up. That should have been something like, he's not even supposed to be fidgeting, touching his body, doing all that stuff, man. This is just so sad, man. I don't even know what to say about it. It's so, in broad daylight too, man.
Nick, someone didn't search him. It was in his waistband. I hope it hurt. Hell yeah. No, go over there to Jody. Stay alive, go to Jody. Go to Jody first. Go to Jody first. You need to go be with Bowman because Jody's not doing good, man. Somebody needs to be with Bowman. Yep. Yeah, go sit somewhere else, Brian. He's done for us. Yeah. I guess we didn't search him though. He had a gun on his waistband. Stupid motherfucker.
44-year-old Jody Cash was transported to the hospital in critical condition, but tragically, he succumbed to his wounds shortly after and was pronounced dead.
Man. Whoo! I don't even know what to say, bro. That is just. Hopefully, homeboy get the penalty, bro. Damn. Man.
He had served in law enforcement for 22 years and has spent the last 2 on a special DEA task force. In the following weeks, an investigation was launched to determine how a convicted felon managed to smuggle a gun into the sheriff's office and kill a police officer. Based on the evidence gathered, investigators concluded that that day, no one searched Gary thoroughly enough. In response, Deputy Jody Cash's wife, Karen Cash, and Deputy Donald Bowman filed a lawsuit against law enforcement. The suit sought wrongful death damages for Cash's estate and emotional trauma compensation for Bowman, who developed PTSD and could no longer work in law enforcement. A settlement was reached in September 2023. As for Gary Rowland, he was shot 12 times and eventually died at the scene of the shootout. When his gun was recovered, investigators found a jammed casing, meaning that Gary's weapon malfunctioned, a lucky break that prevented any more officers from losing their lives.
Condolences go out to both of the families. Homeboy is a crazy ass individual, bro. He's a monster. He needs to be put under the jail, bro. They need to give him the penalty. You feel me? Like, for real, man. You know what, man? I ain't even gonna say if y'all like or enjoy, because this is a up story, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna say that this one, but you already know what it is. This is Real Reacts. I'll see you in the next video.